Good evening and welcome to News Tonight on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Tina Jha. Before we go over to the headlines, Rajya Sabha TV appeals to all its viewers to stay safe from the COVID-19 pandemic. Wear face masks, wash hands and face regularly, and maintain physical distancing while stepping outside. Remember, these simple precautions are all that it takes to defeat the pandemic. Over to the headlines now. India has become a preferred investment destination because of its stable policies, asserts Prime Minister Narendra Modi, assures better and reliable returns at Global Investors Roundtable Conference. It is my last election, says Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar at the end of campaigning for the final phase. Prime Minister Modi writes to people of Bihar, reiterates NDA commitment to restore glorious past. RJD leader Tejasvi Yadav also confident of opposition victory. India will do whatever it takes to safeguard its sovereignty and territorial integrity, asserts Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. 8th round of Corps Commander level talks on border issue with China tomorrow. India slams Pakistan's decision to hand over management of Kartarpur Sahib Gurudwara to non-Sikh trust. Foreign Ministry calls it an affront to Sikh community sentiments, tells Islamabad to withdraw it immediately. And with key victories, Democrat candidate Joe Biden takes the advantage in the US presidential election. President Donald Trump files lawsuits against the vote count in 3 states. The top story tonight. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said on Thursday that investors are moving towards companies which have a high environmental, social and governance score, and India ranks high on this. He said that the government is committed to furthering ease of doing business and making India a tech hub. Addressing the virtual Global Investor Roundtable on Thursday, Prime Minister Modi said that India has emerged as one of the most preferred investment destinations due to our economic policies. He asserted that the government will do whatever it takes to make India the engine of global growth resurgence.
India's growth has the potential to catalyze global economic resurgence. Any achievements by India will have a multiplier impact on world's development and welfare. A strong and vibrant India can contribute to stabilization of the world economic order. We will do whatever it takes to make India the engine of global growth resurgence.
Prime Minister Modi stated that India has shown remarkable resilience in this pandemic in both fighting the virus and ensuring economic stability. He said that India's quest to become Atmanirbhar is not just a vision but a well-planned economic strategy to make India into a global manufacturing powerhouse.
India's quest to become Atmanirbhar is not just a vision but a well-planned economic strategy. A strategy that aims to use the capabilities of our businesses and skills of our workers to make India into a global manufacturing powerhouse. A strategy that aims to use our strength in technology to become the global center for innovations. A strategy that aims to contribute to global development using our immense human resources and their talents.
Addressing the global investors, Prime Minister Modi said that India offers democracy, demography, demand as well as diversity, with which they can get multiple markets within one market. He also assured them of returns with reliability. The Prime Minister expressed confidence that India will soon emerge as an agriculture export hub due to recent agricultural reforms.
Today, each sector in India is looking up manufacturing, infrastructure, technology, agriculture, finance, and even social sectors like health and education. Our recent reforms in agriculture open up new possibilities to partner with the farmers in India. With the help of technology and modern processing solutions, India will soon emerge as an agriculture export hub.
Amid the ongoing border standoff with China in eastern Ladakh, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh asserted that India is determined to protect its sovereignty and territorial integrity. Rajnath Singh said this in his keynote address at a webinar celebrating the Diamond Jubilee to mark 60 years of the National Defence College in Delhi.
Addressing a virtual seminar of National Defence College, Union Defence Minister Rajnath Singh asserted that India wants a peaceful resolution of disputes with its neighbours. He said, India is committed to respect agreements and protocols to preserve tranquility along its borders. However, he added that India will do whatever it takes to protect its sovereignty in the face of unilateralism and aggression.
Recently, India has been facing other challenges on its borders. India is a peace-loving country. We believe that differences should not become disputes. We attach importance to the peaceful resolution of differences through dialogue. We are committed to respect for various agreements and protocols that India has entered into for the maintenance of peace and tranquility on our borders. However, India is determined to protect its sovereignty and territorial integrity in the face of unilateralism and aggression, no matter what the sacrifice.
Rajnath Singh said Pakistan remains adamant on the use of terrorism as state policy. He added that India has achieved substantial success in working with like-minded countries to expose Pakistan's regressive policies. He said the government has undertaken a three-pronged approach towards internal security challenges.
Last 6 years provide a blueprint for India's approach towards national security over the next decade. First is the ability to secure India's territorial integrity and sovereignty from external threats and internal challenges. Second, the ability to create secure and stable conditions that can facilitate India's economic growth, thereby creating the resources for nation building and to meet individual aspirations. Third, we remain steadfast in desire to protect our interests beyond the borders in areas where our people reside and our security interests converge. And finally, we also believe that in a globalized and interconnected world, a country's security interests are interlinked by shared and secure commons.
Rajnath Singh also added that peace can be only ensured through the ability to deter war. He praised the efforts of the armed forces in defending India's interest in recent times, overcoming challenges. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The 8th round of core commander level talks between India and China is likely to take place on Friday. The aim of talks is to carry forward negotiations on the disengagement process in eastern Ladakh as troops from both sides brace for a harsh winter. The standoff between both nations erupted in early May this year. The Indian delegation at the 8th round of military talks will be led by Lieutenant General P.G.K. Menon, the newly appointed commander of the Leh-based 14 Corps. A joint press statement by the two armies after the last round of talks said both sides agreed to maintain dialogue and communication through military and diplomatic channels to arrive at a mutually acceptable solution for disengagement. India has all along been maintaining that the onus is on China to carry forward the process of disengagement and de-escalation at the friction points in the mountainous region. India has slammed Pakistan for its decision to transfer the management of the Kartarpur Sahib Gurudwara from a Sikh body to a separate trust. Terming the move highly condemnable, the Ministry of External Affairs said in a statement that the unilateral decision by Pakistan runs against the religious sentiments of the Sikh community and also the spirit of the Kartarpur Sahib corridor. The ministry said that India received representations from the Sikh community expressing grave concern over Pakistan's decision. Calling upon Pakistan to reverse its decision, the MES said that such actions only expose Pakistan government's tall claims of preserving and protecting the rights and welfare of the religious minority communities. Pakistan has decided to transfer the management and maintenance of the Gurudwara from the Pakistan Sikh Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee to the administrative control of the Evacuee Trust Property Board, which is a non-Sikh body. Meanwhile, Shiromani Akali Dal President Sukhbir Singh Badal has urged Prime Minister Narendra Modi to take up the issue with Pakistan. Environment, Forest and Climate Change Minister Prakash Javadekar has called climate change an important issue that needs coordinated global action. Addressing the India CEO Forum of Climate Change in New Delhi on Thursday, the minister said that under the Paris Agreement, India had declared its resolve to reduce emission intensity by 35%. He also said that India has set the ambitious target to produce 450 gigawatt of renewable energy by 2030. He urged developed countries to provide climate-friendly technology at affordable cost to fight climate change.
United Nations ecosystem and UNFCCC ecosystem will definitely take note of this wonderful initiative of India and India's corporate world to adhere to and even declare plans of their own decarbonization or carbon neutrality. So this is how India wants to move ahead. This is how we want to make progress at all levels.
Time now for the latest COVID-19 situation in the country. Active cases maintain a declining trend in India for the 7th consecutive day. India's active caseload stands at 5,27,000, comprising 6.31% of the total positive cases. India reported 50,210 new cases in the last 24 hours, while 55,331 recoveries were reported in the same period, taking the recovery rate to 92.20%. Total cases have crossed 83,64,000, including 77,11,000 recoveries. With 704 new deaths on Wednesday, the total death toll in the country due to COVID-19 has crossed 1,24,315. Over 12 lakh samples were tested in the last 24 hours. So far, India has tested a total of 11.42 crore samples. The University Grants Commission has notified guidelines for reopening of universities and colleges across the country. The guidelines apply to institutes outside the containment zones. For central universities and other centrally funded higher education institutions, the decision for reopening of campuses has been left to the vice-chancellors and heads. However, for state universities and colleges, the respective state governments will have to take a call. The universities and colleges have been asked to plan the opening of campuses in a phased manner under strict COVID-19 protocol. The Commission has said that the institutions should have a plan ready for international students as well. These students who could not join the program due to international travel restrictions or visa-related issues in the past few months. The hostels may be open only in such cases where it is necessary while strictly observing the safety and health preventive measures. And Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan reviewed the COVID-19 situation in Delhi with the Lieutenant Governor and State Health Minister. He discussed the need to further improve surveillance, testing, clinical management, and also steps to control the surge in the number of cases in the national capital. He urged everyone to follow COVID-19 appropriate behavior during the festival season and also amid the rising pollution.
दिल्ली एक चिंता का विषय बना हुआ है। 6 हमारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स ऐसे हैं, नॉर्थ ईस्ट, ईस्ट दिल्ली, न्यू दिल्ली, नॉर्थ वेस्ट और साउथ ईस्ट, जहां लगभग पॉजिटिविटी रेट 12 से 14% के बीच में है। कोविड एप्रोप्रिएट बिहेवियर को लोग ठीक प्रकार से पालन करें, इसका भी एक बड़े पैमाने पर सारे माध्यमों का इस्तेमाल करके एक आंदोलन विकसित करने की बड़ी स्ट्रांग आवश्यकता है।
Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal also reviewed the COVID-19 situation with officials and said that the number of cases have increased due to the festival season and the rising pollution. The government has decided to ban crackers in Delhi, ramp up medical infrastructure and add ICU beds, among various other measures. Time for a short break here, but more news and updates will continue on the other side. Do stay with us.
Watch Security Scan with me, Frank Rausen Pereira, tonight at 10 p.m.
Defeat coronavirus. Let us always remember, wear a mask. Wash hands. Follow physical distancing. Together, we'll succeed. Together, we'll win against COVID-19.
Welcome back. You're watching News Tonight. Ahead of the third and final phase of polling in Bihar on Saturday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has written an open letter to the people of the state, telling them that he needs the Nitish Kumar government for the development of Bihar. In his 4-page letter, the Prime Minister said that it is a matter of pride that this time development has been the focus in the Bihar Assembly elections. He added that the NDA government has done a lot of work in Bihar in the areas of electricity, water, road, education, and also law and order. Completely focusing on the development of the state in his letter, the Prime Minister said it is only the NDA which can provide better infrastructure, rule of law imperative for social and economic prosperity in Bihar. The Prime Minister maintained the power of a double-engine government, a reference to the ruling JDU-BJP coalition in the state, will help Bihar achieve new milestones of development in this decade. And campaigning for the third and final phase of assembly elections in Bihar ended on Thursday. 78 constituencies will go to polls on Saturday. Star campaigners and senior leaders of various political parties addressed multiple rallies in the state. JDU President and Chief Minister Nitish Kumar addressed election rallies in Katihar and Purnia districts. Addressing a public meeting in Katihar, Nitish Kumar said he has settled Bihar on the right path. At an election rally in Purnia, he said that the state assembly elections would be his last. BJP President JP Nadda held a public meeting in Hayaghat and Jale in Darbhanga district in support of the NDA candidates. Targeting the opposition, he said the ongoing election in the state is a contest between those who work for the development and those who took the state towards destruction. Speaking at the rally in Benipatti, senior BJP leader and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh asserted that the people of Bihar prefer politics of good governance. Rajnath Singh also held a public meeting in Balrampur. At a rally in Saharsa, RJD leader Tejasvi Yadav promised to work towards creating a new Bihar by bringing in overall development. He criticized the policies of the Nitish Kumar government in the state. RLSP chief Upendra Kushwaha also campaigned in favor of the Grand Democratic Secular Front. On a two-day visit to West Bengal, Home Minister Amit Shah interacted with BJP workers in Bankura today. He accused the Mamata Banerjee government of creating roadblocks to stop the benefits of the central schemes from reaching the poor in West Bengal. He criticized the state government over the attack and killings of BJP workers in the state. Amit Shah also expressed confidence of bringing about change in the state under the leadership of Narendra Modi if the BJP is elected to power in the assembly elections.
जिस प्रकार का दमन का चक्र विशेषकर भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं के ऊपर ममता सरकार ने चलाया है, मैं निश्चित रूप से देख रहा हूं कि ममता सरकार का मृत्युगंड बच चुका है। आने वाले दिनों में यहां भारतीय जनता पार्टी की 2/3 बहुमत की सरकार बनने जा रही है।
Army Chief General Manoj Mukund Narvane was conferred the honorary rank of General of the Nepali Army by President Bidya Devi Bhandari at a special ceremony in Kathmandu on Thursday. General Narvane was presented with a sword, insignia and a certificate of conferment order by the Nepalese President during the ceremony at her official residence. Nepal's Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, Indian Ambassador Vinay Quatra and other senior officials of both countries attended the ceremony. Earlier in the day, General Narvane met his Nepalese counterpart, General Thapa, at the Chief of Army Staff's office and discussed measures to further bolster the existing bond of friendship and cooperation between the two armies. The Army Chief also presented medical equipment to the Nepalese Army. General Narvane also laid a wreath and paid homage at Bir Smarak at the Army Pavilion in Kathmandu. Rajya Sabha's Subordinate Legislation Committee held its meeting on Thursday. Secretary of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare, along with concerned officials of the Insecticide Rules 1971 and subsequent amendments, attended the meeting. The committee scrutinizes and reports whether the powers to make rules, regulations, bylaws, schemes or other statutory instruments conferred by the Constitution or delegated by Parliament have been properly exercised within such conferment or delegation. The Standing Committee on Home Affairs was briefed by Director General ITBP on the review of functioning, training and infrastructure of ITBP. Rajya Sabha member Anand Sharma has been appointed as chairman of the committee. The Joint Parliamentary Committee on the Personal Data Protection Bill 2019 also held its meeting on the day. The committee is eliciting the views of various stakeholders and heard from representatives of Ola and Uber Technologies on the Personal Data Protection Bill 2019. The Standing Committee on Finance 2020-21 held its first meeting on Thursday. After the reconstitution of the Parliamentary Standing Committees, Lok Sabha member Jayant Sinha has been appointed chairman of this committee.
The committee considered the selection of subjects for examination during the year 2020-21. oral evidence of Finance Ministry representatives on the provisions of Factoring Regulation Amendment Bill 2020 was also on the agenda. Members representing the upper house in the Committee on Finance are Rajiv Chandrasekhar, A. Navneet Krishnan, Prafulla Patel, Dr. Amar Patnaik, Mahesh Poddar, C.M. Ramesh, Bikash Ranjan, GVL Narasimha Rao, Dr. Manmohan Singh and Ambika Soni. Members from Lok Sabha on the Committee of Finance are S.S. Aluwalia, Sukhbir Singh Badal, Subhash Chandra Baheria, Srirang Appa Barne, Dr. Subhash Ram Rao Bhamre, Sunita Duggal, Gaurav Gogoi, Sudhir Gupta, Darshana Vikram Jardosh, Manoj Kishore Bhai Kotak, Pinaki Mishra, Saugata Ray, P.V. Midhun Reddy, Gopal Chanaya Shetty, Jayant Sinha, Kirit Premji Bhai Solanki, Manish Tiwari, Balashori Vallabh Naini, Rajesh Verma, Pravesh Sahib Singh Verma and Girdhari Yadav. The Standing Committee on Finance examines matter concerned with Department of Economic Affairs, Financial Services Expenditure, Revenue, Investment and Public Assets Management, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Ministry of Planning, Niti Aayog, and Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And suspense continues over the result of the US presidential elections. While Democratic candidate Joe Biden seems to be currently holding an advantage, Republican nominee and current President Donald Trump is leading in several provinces. But dissatisfied with the present trend of counting, the Trump campaign is challenging vote counts in the key states of Wisconsin, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and also Michigan. Here's a report.
With most of the votes being counted in the US presidential elections, results coming in from Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania have tilted the balance in favor of Democratic Party. It has also triggered unease in Republican camp. Expressing unhappiness with the election process, President Donald Trump has challenged the counting in the court. The delay as well as uncertainty have led to demonstrations in many parts of US where protesters are demanding that all votes be counted.
Tomorrow, we organize and we fight regardless of who goes to the White House.
Democratic candidate and former US Vice President Joe Biden has said he is absolutely confident of his victory. He also expressed faith in American election system and the citizens of America.
Now, every vote must be counted. No one's going to take our democracy away from us. Not now, not ever. America's come too far. America's fought too many battles. America's endured too much to ever let that happen. We, the people, will not be silenced. We, the people, will not be bullied. We, the people, will not surrender. My friends, I'm confident we'll emerge victorious.
According to latest information, counting work is yet to be completed in Nevada, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. If the US courts stop the counting, then the results that was expected till Friday may be delayed. Akhilesh Sumant's report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And that's it from us in this bulletin. But before we leave, we once again appeal to all our viewers to stay safe from the COVID-19 pandemic. Wear face masks, wash hands and face regularly, and also maintain physical distancing while stepping outside. Remember, these simple precautions are all that it takes to defeat the pandemic. Good night and thanks for watching.